Welcome to We Are All Organizers. Monday's going to be tough. Next week is going to be tough, and the next couple of weeks are going to be tough. I know that. So we're going to talk about the types of organizing that we can do right now to help us. So I always have a two-tiered approach to organizing. The first is our small local groups that are for survival. They're to help keep us going every day. And the second is on a larger scale, but still local, to help stay connected and to get things done. So first we need our small groups, okay? Our small groups are where we are going to give support and get support. Our small groups are where we are going to allow ourselves to take a break and to allow other people to take a break, because it's going to be overwhelming at times. The big democratic institutions, they're not going to save us on a day-to-day basis right now. That will come later. We're going to have to reach out to our communities, to our small groups. We individually need to be that person. So Trump is going to sign a flurry of executive orders next week. And those orders are going to be designed to overwhelm us, to make us angry and have outrage, and also to make us feel helpless and make us, want to give up and retreat and do nothing. And it is our job as part of the resistance and part of being an organizer to not let that happen. So first, I want to remind you that not every executive order that he signs is going to take effect. So number one, he's not going to have the resources or the people to implement every executive order that he puts into place. Some, like last time, will be challenged in the courts, and then some will take effect. Our job is to first assess our own safety, your family's safety. Then reach out to your small group. I talked about creating a small group chat, people that you meet in person, your small pod. Find out what their safety level is when things start to come down. And then you assess your more local, larger community. So we're going to go over one of these. We're going to go over a couple of them, but the first one is ICE. So it's been reported that the ICE raids will start next week. So what do we do first? We decide, are we at risk for being rounded up or deported? If you're not, hopefully you're not, then you look at your small groups and you see who in your group is at risk. So for instance, figure out what they need to have with them. So if somebody in your group is at risk, they need to have their ID, their passport, a copy of their visa, okay? They need to have a list of people that they can give to you to contact if they have a lawyer, if they have a family that will need to be notified if something happens to them. And then remind them to remain silent while this process is going on, because they do have some rights. Then you can be more practical, right? Figure out a plan of who's going to get their kids from school if they're rounded up at work. So have a chain of who's going to do that. And then figure out what organizations this you can do now in your area are already set up to help people. So if there are some law firms that do pro bono work, make sure you have those numbers available so that you can contact them. I know that where I live, we have a couple of pro bono law firms. We also have the Latin American Coalition. So you can start there, look at some local groups that can help everybody out. Next, if your immediate group is safe, you don't have anybody that is at risk to get deported, then you want to look at the local organizing groups that are already on the ground, that are already doing the work. And that's where you can start now. Research, see what organizations are available to help children whose parents are rounded up. Organizations that will provide the free legal services, things like that. And this enables us to not feel overwhelmed and powerless when these things start to come down, because it can make us feel like there's nothing I can do and we shut down. We don't want that to happen. Okay, so another example I'll go through quickly. If all of a sudden, they end the Department of Education, right? So again, we go through the list of how we assess our immediate threat. So do your children in your home have a 504 and IEP plan? Figure that out. If it's not, then maybe there's also several children at your kid's school, and there's a group of parents who all have IEPs or 504 plans. That should be another pod that you should create, a group chat, people who meet for coffee, to get together to talk about ways on how you're going to support your children if the Department of Education is shut down and funding is ended at your school for these services. And then again, the third step is to reach out to organizations in your area that are already doing the work. So organizations that provide free services or reduced services to children who need help. So you can volunteer your time to tutor children. You can volunteer your home to provide space. You can donate money. You can be creative in how you support kids who are going to lose services around the Department of Education. And this is all about having your small groups to start with, because this helps you be creative. This helps you feel like you're not alone, makes you feel like you can help others and they can help you, and that's really important. And it continues the process of organizing and being involved. So my advice is, when the news starts coming in about the executive orders and it gets overwhelming for you, shut the news off for a little while, okay? And then take stock, write down the things that are going to affect you and your small groups immediately, and start to put together your action plan on those small items. You don't have to solve everything. And I know that some of us are going to be thinking, how is this happening? Why isn't anybody doing anything? But the large democratic organizations are not the ones that are going to save us right now. That will come later. Right now, we need to stay focused on what we can do. And as we build these communities through these small efforts, this is organizing. This is how the community gets larger. So when it's time to vote, when it's time to protest, when it's time to take action, we already know the people and we can get things moving. So take care of yourself this week. Take care of your mental health. Take care of those around you. Start sending out messages to your friends. Say, I know Monday's coming. Let's have this group chat. Let's get together for coffee. Let's do something besides watch the inauguration. But start to reach out to people today so that those connections are there, because this is going to be work we're going to have to keep doing for a very long time. But I look forward to some of it because I'm becoming closer friends, having closer connections, and I feel less alone. I feel more powerful, and I'm hoping that that's contagious, and I hope that I can help as many people as possible. And you can do that. Everyone can do that. It doesn't have to be on a large scale. So I hope to see you next week, and we'll keep going. We're in this together, and thank you for watching.